I want to thank everybody for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would prefer you to do so, because there's going to be a lot of more stories just like this is going to be posting soon. Today we're going to talk about the TB and T-Roy story and the real story of the Get Back gang, and what led to this deadly back and forth war that took place between O Block and STL. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody to hit the like button and please share this video. Now let's get into the story of the Get Back gang. The war started between a BD set called the Black Disciples, in which they were in war with GD set called the Gangster Disciples. In 2011, Tuka Gregory, also known as Tuka, from STL GD set known as St. Lawrence, also known as 63rd, was shot and killed. It was rumored that Parkway Gardens 64th block BDs, known as the Black Disciple set, was rumored to be behind the killing. A man named O.D. Perry would be shot and killed later on that same year, and it would be rumored that STL retaliated and was behind the murder of O.D. Perry. Gakari Barnes was rumored to be the suspect in the murder of O.D. Perry, but this wasn't any ordinary slaying. Gakari Barnes was a female shooter from STL EBT 63rd, which are allied with Taekwon World STL. Was primarily known as FBG Flyboy Gang. This set includes rappers FBG Young, FBG Dutchy, and FBG Duck. FBG Butter is rumored to be Gakari Barnes' brother. So when the rumor got around that Gakari Barnes, also known as KI from STL, murdered O.D. Perry, the Black Disciples were not happy, and the bloody war started. And ever since then, the Black Disciples named Parkway Gardens O Block in the honor of O.D. Perry, and the war between O Block BDs and STL, which named their set Tukaville, would spark out of control. 2014, it was O Block would get their revenge in 2014, April 11th. Gakari Barnes was shot and killed. It seemed that O Block had got payback, even though it took long enough. O Block finally got O.D. Perry's killer out the way, and it was no secret that STL knew who did it and who was responsible. So KI getting killed, STL took a big loss, and O Block took a big win. Now that we have the backstory on how the beef between O Block and STL 63rd started, we can get to the story about TB and T-Roy. T-Roy was known as a shooter. That's no secret. T-Roy have been shouted out in songs by rappers Chief Keef, who's also from the O Block. His songs like Now It's Over, they got millions of streams. Even from the set 600 all the way to 300, everybody knew that T-Roy was a savage. He was shouted out in numerous songs by numerous rappers from both sides. He was known to be a killer, and he was real close friends with both sides, 600 and 300, and THF. T-Roy is rumored to have 5 bodies, all from the opposite sides, including Taekwon World, STL 63rd, and Jaro City. It was even rumored that he killed the infamous shooter from STL named Boss Trail. Boss Trail was from FBG St. Lawrence 63rd area. He was a very known shooter as well. It was rumored that his nickname was Max Payne because he never missed when he went to do drills and killed his ops. He was known to have an infrared beam on his gun. As a matter of fact, the reason why Boss Trail was on the top of O Block's hit list was because it was rumored that Boss Trail had murdered a beloved O Block member in 2012 named Sherrod Liggins. So in revenge, it was rumored that T-Roy, alongside with King Von, killed Boss Trail. It was no secret that T-Roy was nothing to play with. He was a real shooter, he was a real killer, and everyone from O Block knew that, and the ops knew that. Even it was rumored that the ops, you would always run from T-Roy because they knew that he would shoot at them. T-Roy's brothers HK, Slutty, and Zales. So now that we know about T-Roy and how savage he was and how much he meant to his block and how much fear he put into the ops, let's go to that fateful day on February 2017. T-Roy will wake up one morning. He would decide to go to the store in Paxtown, an area that is allied with Jaro City and Taekwon World. There's a video surfacing on the internet that shows T-Roy walking Inside the store was someone who was unknown. And there's footage inside the store that shows T-Roy talking to someone unknown. When two people walk in the store and approach T-Roy, one suspect shoots T-Roy and they both run out later. On the internet, it is rumored that these two people were Can't Get Right and TB. Can't Get Right from STL and TB from Taekwon World. Even though T-Roy was a heartless savage, he fought as long as he could as he laid on the floor inside the store squirming around on the ground, fighting for his life. The ambulance rushed T-Roy to the hospital and they did everything they could, but sadly, T-Roy passed away due to his injuries. T-Roy had a son around the time of his death that he left behind as well. Though Old Block took to the internet to mourn the loss of T-Roy, everyone was shocked. Even rappers like Lil Durk, 600 Breezy, Lil Reese, and even Chief Keef made tweets about the murder of T-Roy. And his ops also took to the internet to laugh and mark the death of T-Roy, such as Jarro City, 051, and definitely STL. It was a big score for them because T-Roy had the fame from Chief Keef shouting him out in his songs. Old Block was on fire at this point. Old Block was ready to get revenge, and this is where the story takes a huge, unexpected, bloody turn. Not only was Old Block upset and the ops were happy T-Roy was gone, but someone was not happy. T-Roy's little brother, HK, Hakeem Mary, was a BD from Old Block and is actually T-Roy's little brother. HK, up to the point that T-Roy got killed, never was really in trouble. He was actually rumored that T-Roy wanted HK to stay out of trouble. When T-Roy would go on drills, he would tell HK to go back in the house. T-Roy didn't want HK in trouble or to get involved in what T-Roy was doing. And HK listened to T-Roy. He actually looked up to T-Roy. HK turned from a quiet, laid-back dude to a savage. Old Block will form one of the biggest infamous gangs that would never be forgotten, and that would change this bloody war between STL and Old Block forever. Old Block would make their new gang name called Get Back Gang, in which enlisted members E-Dog, Mona Duke, DQ, and pretty much the whole Old Block. As the Get Back Gang would get started, E-Dog will make his first post warning the ops and everyone, including the fans, that it's going to be a whole lot of Get Back Gang in 2017. So on the top of Old Block's hit list was Poppy from Taekwon World. Poppy was rumored to kill an Old Block member named Chino, so he was already on Old Block's target list. As Poppy was at his job at a grocery store, he would be helping a woman with groceries out of her car when it was rumored that a car pulled up. HK hopped out and shot Poppy in the head and shot him numerous more times in the body. And he also shot an innocent lady. Poppy was rushed to the hospital where he died of his injuries. Old Block was just getting started as TB lost one of his one and only friends. The next two victims would be Brick and Kobe from STL, which is the brother of FBG Duck, and Kobe is the cousin of FBG Duck. It was rumored that FBG Brick gave up T-Roy's location. Since the streets know everything first, Old Block will slide on STL, and this is what happened. After FBG Brick was killed, fans all over the world were shocked, even his block, because he was a well-known member and he was the brother of FBG Duck. It actually crushed FBG Duck when this happened, because before this, FBG Duck had never experienced a loss within his family. It was a shock to 63rd, but it was not a shock to Old Block, because E-Dog will go posting another message on Twitter warning the ops that the war was far from over, and they had got 3 ops out the way, but there was still one up that they really, really wanted bad that created this whole situation, and that was TB from Taekwon World. TB was rumored to have been the suspect that walked in the store and killed T-Roy, so Old Block was on a hunt for TB, but eventually T-Roy's brother HK would get his one and only chance on this fateful day in 2017. TB was finally shot and killed when a man approached him and opened fire. This is the story. So as you can see now, O Block feels at ease knowing that T-Roy's killer was now dead as well. STL and O Block will go at each other, taunting each other on the internet, back and forth, but eventually HK's time ran out. HK was shot and killed shortly after the murders of TB, Brick and Kobe, and Poppy. HK was shot and killed. There was rumors he was trying to rob somebody, or either rumors say the ops did it. But either way, it seems like everyone died, left to right. Everything was happening so quick that it became normal to the internet. So basically, ever since then, it's been a back and forth. Can't Get Right was eventually murdered as well later on that year in a separate incident when he was killed walking out of a store with his friends at the food restaurant on STL. So sadly, it seems like everyone passed away in this video. Some are still alive. But basically, the moral of the story is that the war will never stop between these two sets, as bloodshed has already been spilled on the bloody streets of Chicago. I hope y'all like this story of Get Back Gang. And if y'all want any more stories like this, comment below, like the video, share it, and subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. This was the story of Get Back Gang. Thanks for watching.